For those of us who choose to follow a religion, we usually trust in a deity to show us the difference between right and wrong. But what if we could trust in ourselves to already know the difference? My name is Solis, and I'm going to be telling you about the Society of Friends. I will tell you about their ideas like the inner light, concern, and doctrines, and how they apply those to their everyday lives through peace, equality, and the afterlife. By the end of my speech, you will be able to understand the basic principles of this religion. So, the Society of Friends is a branch of Christianity and is more commonly known as the religion of the Quakers. The most important principle of this religion is that everybody possesses the inner light. Since everybody has it, everybody is seen as being one. Everyone should be unified, and so everyone is friendly towards each other. This inner light also guides their judgments through life. Since everyone has the potential to do good and evil, they have to trust the inner light to show them the correct way. It's a type of intuition that they use to guide themselves through life. When the inner light shows them answers to their problems or their situations that they come up with, they're expected to act on it. So the action is known as leading them towards the good. But if they don't take action, it's leading them towards bad. They use the term concern to name this principle in their religion because they become concerned for their well-being. They'll want to do good, so they're concerned that if they don't act, then they'll be steered towards evil. They have to believe that concern will lead them towards good. The inner light channels the Holy Spirit, and in the same way, the Quakers channeled the inner light. So this direct relationship between them and the Holy Spirit gives them the authority to trust themselves when they come up with solutions to their problems. Sometimes when they take action on their concerns, it leads them to make decisions that may not be consistent with teachings that we learn in the Bible. So this is a Christian religion. They do use the Holy Bible. It's usually a King James version, of course edited by the Roman Catholic Church. But they depend very loosely on the Bible, and they view it as a secondary resource to God. They don't use it strictly because they believe that the teachings in the Bible were for problems that the old apostles had in the old world. They believe in progressiveness, and that as the world becomes newer, there becomes new problems that they need new solutions to. They believe that just like the apostles were inspired by God in the old world, so should the apostles of the new world be inspired by God in our new world that we live in. So in other words, in a newer world, there are problems that don't have a direct solution in the Bible, and that by channeling the inner light, God will reveal truth for today's world. So I've talked about how they get their ideas and their morals. Now I'm going to talk about how they apply those to their everyday lives. The two main things that Quakers try to really keep in mind is the principles of equality and peace. For equality, they see everyone that has the potential or the inner light having the potential to hear a message from God. So they believe killing people and murder is losing the potential to hear that lesson, since that person would have been a potential for them to hear a lesson. Losing that person meant that they lost that potential. So this has led them to really oppose war. They actually have representatives of the religion at the United Nations that give their opinions on countries that are at war or that need help. Another way that they show equality is that in colonial times, when slavery was really big, they were one of the first groups to want to abolish slavery. Unfortunately, they only had success in abolishing slavery in the North. Another way that they try to apply those lessons into their lives is by believing that what happens after death is not a consequence of what happens in life. Instead of longing for happiness in the afterlife, They believe it's important to be happy now. So they use these principles like equality and peace so that they ensure that they're happy right now. They don't believe life should be suffered for riches in heaven, and the way that they back this up is with the analogy that just like Jesus' love did not end after his death, neither will theirs. It will transcend death and lead them into the afterlife. The Society of Friends depend greatly on their intuition to hear a message from God. Their loose interpretations give them insight to live a happy life now instead of waiting for the afterlife. Their doctrines on equality are something that we can all take away from, especially in regards to war in these questionable times. If the Society of Friends had a bigger voice in the United Nations, maybe there could be a nonviolent solution to these threatening circumstances with terrorism in North Korea. Can we trust ourselves to make the decision that will lead us towards good? Only our faith will tell.